From Louisiana, he's a member of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator, great to see you. Thank you for being here. We talked about the tax section of this, and the committee, the tax committee from Congress, bipartisan. It's very fair. But then there's the inflation aspect of all this. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act. But in point of fact, Penn Wharton, which is from the University of Pennsylvania, a very fair organization, the administration itself has quoted some of their studies before. They looked it over and they came to this conclusion, quote, the impact on inflation from the Inflation Reduction Act is statistically indistinguishable from zero. So it's called the Inflation Reduction Act, and Penn Wharton says it has zero effect on inflation. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's just the way the bill opens up. The fact that it's misleading in its title makes you suspicious that it's misleading all the way through. And you mentioned, of course, actually in the first 2 years, it can even slightly raise inflation. But to your broader point, David, is this good for the individual's pocketbook? Well, okay, inflation it doesn't lower, but taxes you're going to pay more of. And that same Joint Council on Taxation, Joint Committee on Taxation speaks of $16.7 billion being paid by those making less than $200,000 a year, including those who have reported income less than $10,000 a year. This is going to touch the pocketbook, and it's going to touch the pocketbook in a bad way for most people.
And of course, it completely violates President Biden's pledge. He pledges it over and over. No taxes are going to be raised on anybody under $400,000. This directly violates that.
It really does, and the JCT report also shows that over time, the percent of the money raised paid by those who make less continues to rise. So at the beginning, about 50% of the increased taxes are paid by those who make less than $200,000. At the end of the 10-year window, 2/3 of the taxes are being attributable, if you will, to those who make less than $200,000. Yeah. And so it's really going to touch the middle income and lower income American in a bad way.
Well, and of course, the inflation tax has already touched us all. I mean, to the tune of about anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 for average Americans on everything from food to gasoline, et cetera. I do want to get into Joe Manchin a little bit here, though, because it is pretty clear that what motivated him were promises that he thought he was getting from Schumer and other Democrats that, in fact, there would be more oil and gas production, more pipelines, et cetera. Here's what Manchin said today on Fox News. Let me play the tape. You can listen to it, and I'll get your reaction. Roll tape.
You've got to produce your way out of this. You can't sit back and wait your way out of it.
So are you going to open pipelines?
Absolutely. We're going to build pipelines. We're going to do more drilling.
How are you going to sell that to the President of the United States, who on day one
it's already been sold and bought? It's already been. It's part of the deal. It's part of the bill.
Senator Cassidy, is that part of the bill?
It can't be part of this bill because it's reconciliation, and leasing and permitting cannot be part of reconciliation. I think Joe would say, well, it's going to be in the year-end spending bill. All I can say is one of the leaders of the Progressive Caucus on the House side has said that he's going to oppose this, or he used those words almost. And so the point is there's going to be a significant opposition from the environmental left. I don't know what guarantees he has. But one thing, let me say, the fact that the president could bring this to the table as a bargaining chip tells you that he already has the power to make it happen. When Joe Biden stood in the Rose Garden and said, I'm going to do everything I can to lower the price of fuel, he had in his back pocket things he knew could lower the price of fuel, and he chose not to pull them out, waiting for this moment. Now, going back to the title, the Inflation Reduction Act not being true, the fact the administration said they were going to do everything to lower the cost of fuel wasn't true either. And if that's not true and this is not true, what else is not true?
But, you know, Joe Manchin's been around for a long time. I mean, one would think that he's seen enough schnookering going on inside the Beltway. That's a technical term, by the way, that he would know that he was being taken for a ride.
Yeah, well, Joe's a good politician. All I can say, when we look at it, when the Joint Council of Taxation looks at it, when Penn Wharton looks at it, when others look at it, it's not adding up.
All right. Final question about, you're a member of the Veteran Affairs Committee. You care a lot about veterans. I certainly do. I got a son who's about to retire from the military. The so-called burn pits bill, protecting veterans, is it going to pass, first of all, and will it pass in a way that Democrats won't be able to shoehorn spending that has nothing to do with veterans into it?
You know, I'm all for this bill passing. There will be, Republicans are trying to make it better, offering 3 amendments to keep that from happening, what you just said. We're going to get a vote on those 3 amendments. I think every Democrat will vote against them, so they'll fail. But we felt like we had to get those amendments at least voted on. And then the bill will pass tonight. So the burn pit bill will pass tonight.
All right. Senator Cassidy, good to see you, Senator. We appreciate you coming in. See you soon, I hope.